Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I am here with my brother as we try out the most innovative and most interesting card ever to be added to the Merfolk deck for years. And if you want to figure out what that is and how it's going to influence the deck, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
You could just put it in the description too.
Yeah, or in the title. Something along those lines. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. And there is a new Abzan Sleeper deck in Standard. If you want the deck guide for that deck, go check it out by Kana Hawkins, only on themanabase.com. Your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And I have new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you very much for supporting Merfolk. So I would love to thank Anthony Perkins, RZ, and I'd like to thank Vinicius Costa, who increased their pledge on Patreon. Thank you very much for your support. So, Merfolk, as far as I'm concerned, had a bit of a problem. And one of our biggest problems is that we don't have a whole lot of things to do on turn 2. Nothing of high impact. If we have double blue, if we have double blue by turn 2, we will be able to play our Lords. We can play Harbinger of the Tides. We can play Merfolk Trickster. That is great. However, we cannot consistently get these creatures out on turn 2 at all. Either we have a one-lander with Aether Vial, or we have a hand with Mutavault and an island. So we don't have blue up consistently by turn 2 all the time. I realize Spreading Seas used to be something really good to play on turn 2, but now it's not. It's a lot of decks don't even care. It's not a good turn 2 play. It's still a great turn 4, 5, 6 play, hit manlands and get ourselves Island Walk, but it's not going to really shut people down very early in the game. So the only thing that we can do with like blue and colorless mana is Silvergill Adept, and I was looking hard, like what else can we do? In the past we had Remand, but that's obsolete now. In the past we had Dismember, but that's just really iffy. I mean, it's either useless against some decks or it just takes too much damage against others, like Humans or Mardu Pyromancer. So we are starved for something important to do on turn 2, and I looked all over the place. I looked at all the potential 1-drops. I went and saw what is every 1 blue Merfolk 1-drop, what is every 1 blue Wizard 1-drop, what is every 1 colorless Artifact 1-drop, and then I started looking at the instants, and lo and behold, we have Peak here. Peak. That's right, Peak. 1 blue instant, look at target player's hand, draw a card. And this card was incredible so far in playtesting. One of the problems Merfolk has, the biggest challenge to piloting Merfolk, is playing with accuracy and playing around all your opponent's holdings. Well, all that mystery gets wiped away with Peak. When you see your opponent's hand, you now know exactly what you need to play around. You know exactly what you're up against. You know exactly if you should play Spreading Seas on turn 2 or not. If they have a bunch of lands, to hell with it. Don't even play Spreading Seas. Progress your board with some of the creatures. If you see that they've got like 2 Stomping Grounds and a Raging Ravine in hand, wait for the Raging Ravine to come out and then Spreading Seas them then. If you see that they only have like a 1-lander, Spreading Seas them next turn immediately. If you know, there's just so much interesting things about Peak. Once you know what they have in their hand, you can not only plot out how you're going to play your hand out, but also know when the coast is clear. There's so many games where we're playing very cautiously around removal, but they don't always have it. 30% of the time, they don't have it. And when you peak, you get those wins instantly. You peak, you have nothing. All right, I'm going to dump my hand and kill you immediately, or kill you by next turn. You know the coast is clear. I had a lot of games where I realized, oh, you only have spells in your hand that can do 2 damage. Well, okay, I'm just going to empty my hand of Lords, and now you actually can't kill anything. So it was a great... So far in playtesting, it has done great. I don't know how well it's going to do in our bad matchups, like For example, Affinity or Counters Company or Elves or anything like that. But it has definitely increased the win percentages of the games where we're already doing fine in. Like, it's pushing it really hard. The fact that we can get free wins, like legitimate free wins with Merfolk for the first time ever, I think is very significant to the archetype. It's a really big deal. And the thing is, you can play, I'm easily going to be playing Peak on turn 1 if I can, because I don't have anything else to do on turn 1. It's either Ether Vial or Peak. And so Peak early in the game lets you know how to play out your hand for the first 4 turns. And also Peak is fine later in the game, so you can know that the coast is clear to get in an attack for the win. Like, there's definitely games now where you play Peak, you see your opponent doesn't actually have any removal, and you just send in the team for victory. When in the past we would play cautiously with our creatures because we don't know if there's going to be a blowout removal spell to like ruin us right then and there. And then, like, here's an example. I was up against Mardu Pyromancer, and I have, like, 3 creatures out and a Mutavault. And there's a Liliana the Last Hope that's on 4 or 5 loyalty. And my opponent has 4 mana up and 3 cards in hand. My plan was to attack in with all the creatures against the Liliana the Last Hope, because if my opponent bolts, Fatal Pushes one, bolts the other, I can at least get in enough creatures to do some damage to that Liliana. I play Peak. They have Settle the Wreckage in hand. That card would have completely wrecked me if I sent in the team. So what did I do? I just attacked with 1 creature. I could play around it perfectly, and I easily won that game. Same thing against some of my Jund opponents. Just Peek, know exactly what you have in your hand. Oh, you just have a bunch of creatures in your hand? Okay, I'm just going to dump my hand on the board. Or there was even an interesting game where they had like Kolaghan's Command and Fatal Push and Lightning Bolt and Collective Brutality, and I played out my creatures in such a way, like, if you know they have Collective Brutality or Fatal Push, there's no reason to play Master of Waves. What's the point? Just play out all the other creatures to absorb all the removal, and then put Master of Waves in last, so that it can survive through that removal. Whereas, you know, sometimes I would just risk playing Master of Waves and just force them to have it. Well, I know they have it already, so why take the chance with Master of Waves? What else does Peak do? It draws a card, and that actually, I mean, I only have a small sample right now. I'm 13-3 with this list, but my land drops feel so smooth. I feel like I'm hitting on curve way more often with Peak, because after you Peak, you get you're going 1 card deeper with a Scry. So you are I do feel like I'm hitting my land drops a little bit more often, and of course, when you're playing with a cantrip like Peak, you have a better chance of hitting your more high impact spells in your deck. It's going to help you draw to them. So I do like Peak in that regard. So Peak has been... Let's talk about some of our bad matchups. I beat 2 Titan Shift players because I knew what was in their hand. They had no sweepers. They had I saw like a hand of Primeval Titan and 2 or 3 lands, and I knew, okay, you can't go off for 3 turns given the board. I'm just going to empty my hand of creatures and try to kill you immediately. What else could I do with Peak? It was good to know what kind of removal, or if any removal they had in their hand. It's good to know if they have Primeval Titan or Scapeshift. Like, for example, if I see Primeval Titan in the Scapeshift player's hand, then I know I need to hold on to my Merfolk Trickster. I know I need to hold on to Phantasmal Image if the game is gonna go long, and I'll make sure I play my Lords out first, like, because, you know, the Primeval Titan will enter the battlefield, get some Valakuts out, but if it can't attack next turn, it's not gonna be that big. You can still steal those games, so you might want to hold on to your Merfolk Trickster if you know you can't kill them in time. What else can I say about this? So, I mean, that's all the pumping up I can do for Peak. Peak is just a very, very interesting card, very new addition, and having known information, knowing their hand, is just so valuable. And there's so many games where you Peak, you see their hand. I mean, against Storm, I beat a Storm deck very easily because I just played Peak and I just knew that they had rituals and some other garbage in their hand, and it was useless. So I just quickly emptied my hand and hoped that they didn't top deck Gifts Ungiven or something like that. So yeah, like this is something different. This is totally changes everything. Makes me wonder. Maybe I was wrong about Gataxian Pro back in the day when it was legal. Maybe we could have played that card all along. Although I think it's very useful that we can play this at instant speed because you will have 100. Well, I mean, you could pay the life, I guess, if you want, but that's not very appealing. But anyway, Peak. Very, very interesting card. So far, it's been very, very useful in playtesting. Still on for Phantasmal Image. For a Phantasmal Image actually is super vulnerable to, okay, not only is it Staticaster, Electrolyze, Liliana the Last Hope, which is getting very, very popular, and one other particular card that I can't put my finger on right now. Phantasmal Image does not like... I don't remember. But whatever. Phantasmal Image is still super powerful. It's really, really strong. It's good in those Vengevine decks, against those Vengevine decks, because... that's what it was. It was Dark Blast from those Vengevine decks. But you still, in order to beat the zombie horde in those matchups, I very comfortably win with Master Waves into Phantasmal Image into another Phantasmal Image, and they always die. It's as simple as that as far as I'm concerned. So even though it's vulnerable to Dark Blast, it's still going to create all those elementals. Anything else? I should say that we're not. See, if you want to know why this list is quite a bit different from the last one. Like, there's no Mistcaller here. I took out Grafdigger's Cage. I took out Phyrexian Revoker. I'm still seeing some Coco decks, but I think a lot of the Coco decks sort of disappeared after the Pro Tour. I don't see nearly as many of them, and maybe it's because everyone is gunning for the new Vengevine deck with Graveyard Hate, and therefore, if everyone's packing Grafdigger's Cage, that's gonna hurt the Coco deck. So I sort of saw a lot less of them. I still see some. I played against some Elves decks recently, but not in as big quantity as I used to. And we're still gonna have, for those green matchups, those Coco matchups, we're gonna have the gut shots. I have these gut shots for humans, spirits, the Coco decks, Affinity, all the creature matchups. Still, 4 Deprive is great. Still love Venser. It's just a good hedge against Ensnaring Bridge and also... Ensnaring Bridge Worship coming out of the Spirits deck, and also just any general combo deck or control matchup where you have this very interesting creature that can bounce Supreme Verdict or counter spells or return stuff to your hand. Now, I have 2 Fairy Conclave in here. I was testing with 22 lands before I started playing Peak, and I was trying to play with, because I was trying to play with more blue sources in order to consistently cast things like Master of Waves, Merfolk Trickster, and all the rest of them. And then when I moved to this list, I forgot to add 4. But do you know what? I sort of like just having 2 and not 4. It's less clunky. I know people like Merfolk Joe have been on 2 for quite a while, so it's probably playable. I should say that I've been 13-3 with this list, and the 2 times that I lost was because I couldn't cast Master of Waves because I top decked a Fairy Conclave. That happened once against Burn, and it happened once against the Vengevine Graveyard deck. If I could just play that Master Waves, they were totally toast. But I drew Fairy Conclave and I lost. Just like my Merfolk Land Primer said so. It's also ridiculously hot here in Canada. Global warming has reached Canada. That's why we got the frosters out today. Yeah, go Frosters. Go Max.
Dripping.
Huh?
It was dripping.
Yeah, I know, it's dripping. It's so hot. So hot. So hot right now, just like Phantasmal Image. But yeah, so... What else do I have to say? Deprive, great. Bring in Tectonic Edges to help me against... there's still a lot of control. I still want to beat Tron. 2 Relic of Progenituses. I'm pretty sold on 4 Deprive, but everything else is up in the air. I don't know. It could change to whatever. I certainly would like to fit in... maybe like 2 Dispel somewhere. I don't know, maybe 1 less Gutshot, 1 less Tectonic Edge to help me against Coco decks and also Burn. Like, I don't have Curse Catcher anymore. Yeah, I don't have Curse Catcher anymore, and we only have 4 counter spells. That feels like I'm a little vulnerable against Burn. Interesting thing with Peak, like, I don't know exactly what I'm taking out for the Deprives, but we might be able to play Spreading Seas on the draw against Burn if we're playing with Peak. Because if we know that they're on like 1 land or very few land, then it might be worth it to play Spreading Seas on the draw. Maybe. Although it'd feels sort of crappy to play Peak and then or into like Eidolon of the Great Revel or other cards like that. So anyway, I started off in the queues with this list. I've graduated it to friendly leagues, and I went like 8-2 in friendly leagues. One of them being a 5-0. So now we are going to graduate to the competitive league, and I'll see you there. So we lost the die roll. We've got a 1-lander. And you know what? If this Fairy Conclave was an island, maybe I could keep this. The fact that you have Peak means you can get 3 cards deep on the draw. And I found that you can hit your second land drop like 90% of the time if you can get 3 cards deep.
I'm sure.
So you draw 1 card, you peek, you draw another card, and you get 1 more card. You'll hit your second land drop. But we have to mulligan this because this is going to come and play tapped.
I'm sure Hasbro wishes there was that many people playing this game.
What do you mean?
Look at his username.
Whoops. Magic player, a billion.
On top.
Shoot.
Whoa.
This person...
Just spazzed.
Yeah. I can't remember. I played this person recently. I don't know what they're on.
Crack.
I'm gonna quickly look them. Oh, but how big is their name? Magic player 23.
234 923 784.
Magic player 234 92 3784. What is your most recent accomplishments? I can't see the modern ones. Whatever. I don't know if this is useful. Having a second one could be a liability. We'll put it on the bottom.
You'll never see it again.
That's not true. Botanical Sanctum. So still don't know what we're up against. So I'm glad I shipped the Spreading Seas to the bottom because it looks like it's useless. Well, it's not. So this could be Bant.
Should be banned.
Bant Spirits, maybe? What else could this be? Now I feel like this is more like Bant Spirits because they could have at least gotten 1 damage with Noble Hierarch, which also now makes me believe that they are playing with Spell Queller. So let's say they have Spell Queller. Let's just try to get it out of their hand. And I'll show them... I don't want to show them Maraudry just in case they'll hold on to the Spell Queller for later. Show them Master Waves. Sort of want to get this Maraudry out next turn. Oh yeah! Because the other option is to play Merfolk Trickster, but... like, just pass and play Merfolk Trickster. But that doesn't change the fact that they still have Spell Queller in hand. They could just play, like, Rattle Chains at end of turn. Well, I guess they don't have that many instant speed creatures. But my fear is that they play Rattle Chains and then they still have Spell Queller up. Okay, so Supreme Phantom is out. It's okay. I guess that's not okay. Noble Hierarch makes that a pretty decent clock. One good thing about Spirits is that they run out of resources pretty quickly, in my opinion. I think they run out of gas pretty quickly. If you can deal with just a few creatures, the game's over. How do we get rid of this thing? If we can.
Venser.
Well, Venser's not in my main deck. Because if we Merfolk Trickster the Spell Queller to make it lose flying, if we kill it, then we're not going to get the creature back. So now they're attacking for 7. 3-turn clock. But I'm sure if they play like 1 more creature, it just changes everything. Well, we'll see what we can do with Merfolk Trickster. Trickster a Supreme Phantom. Okay, forget all that. Collected Company. This wouldn't happen if we had Curse Catcher in the deck. So what is this? 13 damage? We're dead. We're straight dead.
Spirit's doing its thing.
Yeah. I must say, I feel like between the Vengevine deck, Bant Spirits, there's definitely a little bit more play to... Oh, well, where the hell were you? There's definitely more play to this deck. There's more play to Curse Catcher than there was in the past. So now I have to, like, get rid of this thing. And okay, let's just... Should we call it a day? I think we call it a day.
Well, we'll see you next Monday, everyone.
Yeah.
That's the end of the league.
No. Okay, some cards I want. I want Gutshot. I actually don't need... I think this is not a matchup for Peak, to be honest. Oh, I can take out 2 Spreading Seizes, though. Okay, so we're gonna bring some Peaks back. Oh, no. I can't remember... we'll just bring in Venser. It's more useful than not. Actually, against Bant Spirits, do they have more islands or less islands? I know against Blue-White Spirits, they actually don't have that many islands, and they've got a lot of land that they can prevent themselves from getting an island. On top of that, Blue-White Spirits has Mutavault, but I don't think Bant Spirits does, and I think they're more dependent on their lands, so let's take out the Spreading Seizes and let's just bring in Peaks. It's good enough for me. The Gutshot can whiff on some of these cards, because it can only hit, like, well, it's going to hit Noble Hierarch, it can hit Rattle Chains. Ugh, what else does it hit? I know it hits Selfless Spirit in the Blue-White version. So there's more targets in Blue-White. Keep. Good enough for me. So I don't know if this version runs Worship. But just in case it does. Oh yeah, Mulligan to 5. That's good. They're dead. That's it. Oh, it hits Mausoleum Wanderer. That's an important one. That is an important one. So Gutshot hits Mausoleum Wanderer.
It's going to hit that...
Noble Hierarch.
The Druid and everything.
There's their island. And there's no play. Can't do anything, pass. Beak, you're acting useless right now. Absolutely useless. Love that you're playing that first. It's gonna die. It's gonna die. Whatever. Can't play Peak off that, but we can play Silvergill Adepts. So... Merfolk. I guess I'll show the Lord of Atlantis. That's a good one. But we're gonna shoot this thing anyway.
Pow!
Pow! How you like me now? How selfless of you. Look, the gut shot hit him in the gut, the head, the arm. Supreme Phantom. Bring on all your phantoms. I think... What did you play? Lord of Atlantis? If they have Path to Exile, it's not pleasant.
Well, if you get a blue...
But I can, if they block, I can gut shot this. Yeah, then I can find out if they have the gut shot or not. So let's see. Okay, let's just play Silvergill Adept. We'll attack with everything anyway. Mare Regery, not bad. So I'm just going to keep the Violin too, though. Well, whatever. Okay, so I'll attack with everything, and then, like, if they Path to Exile, great. Not a big deal. We can gut shot the Supreme Phantom. We'll get another land. Nope, nothing. Another good thing about Spirits is that it forces you to kill them. Like, you can't play around anything. You just have to go for it. Whatever it is. I don't. Can you interact here? Like, what are you gonna do?
Come on, blue.
It doesn't matter. Well, there's the blue. Thank you, Fairy Conclave. I don't know if we need this in the deck. It's good against Tron. It's good against Control, but it's like... It's fine against, I guess, Titan Shift, because I can Phantasmal Image, copy the Primeval Titan, and search these things out, but overall, it's like really annoying. Is this lethal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, well, we can attack for 9. Well, I'll put a Lord of Atlantis in play. I decided, okay, screw it. I guess they had nothing in hand. They might have had just more lands. If they go to 9, they couldn't use the fetch land anymore. Yeah, change nothing. Change absolutely nothing. I would keep 2 Spreading Seas against Blue-White Spirits, though. They've got enough non-islands in their deck. Oh, Gutshot again is great. I don't know how good Venser is. But with these interactive creatures, maybe we can grind ourselves a victory.
That's going to be gone.
Oh, yeah. Not even going to waste my time. Oh! I love Gutshot.
Pow!
Just love it. Pachoo, 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 pachoo.
Got another one.
Pachoo, pachoo. Got something that has 1 toughness. No, you don't even have a turn 2 play. That's sad. That's too bad. Sure. Play Lord. That's good, so we can continue to curve out. So if they play Rattle Chains, I'm going to shoot that down too! How do you play around Gutshot? You can't. So I'm sort of predicting we're going to see a Spell Queller now. Mutavault. Now that
funky looking Mutavault.
Yeah, and no islands too. That's also important. There's no islands. Okay. Actually, yeah. I didn't know you could buy these things online. Maybe I should get them. I had no idea.
Looks ugly.
And that's why I don't own it in paper. And it's like $700.
Wow.
In paper. Yeah, it's ridiculous each because they made like 500 and that's it. So some options, I could just attack with the Silvergill Adept and then trade with anything they block with. Or if they play Spell Queller, I can play the Merfolk Trickster and tap it down. I actually don't mind that line now. I don't feel like I have to force any issue here. If they block with Mutavault, you know what? I think I'd be okay with that too. So let's attack. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah.
Wonderful interaction here.
It might be better just let them block. And then I could play Gutshot and Lord of Atlantis, and I think the Lords are worth more right now. If I can get another land in the next turn, that would be very valuable. I need to get these Lords online. I need to start applying some serious pressure. I think their board is larger than mine. You can also keep in mind that Phantasmal Image can copy other things. Okay, we got the Venser. We got Venser, people! Not Echoing Truth, we have Venser. Can't cast Venser right now.
But you will.
I think you're free to attack. Now, one neat thing about Worship is that our opponent is going to be very... How do I put it? They're not going to care about our creatures very much. They're just going to let us do whatever we want. Land? Oh, this is a good one, though. This is powerful. Attack! Attack! I can Venser then gut shot them. That'd be sick. That would be a sick line. That would be a sick victory. But we do need another land.
It coming.
Any land. It better not be Fairy Conclave. Ugh.
We'll just pay the life. Just pay the life.
I can't pay life to cast Venser. I need this thing costs 4 mana.
Fairy Conclave, right? It comes in tapped unless you pay life?
No. Just comes to play tapped.
Oh.
No other option. You have no choice. Oh, they just go on to 8. They don't even care anymore about their life total. They don't even care. Do we have Phantasmal Image can't copy other permanents? Copy your worship. Okay, there's Drog Skull Captain. They think they've got the combo. Holy crap, they are wrong. Attack for 6. If I get a land, I'm just going to attack with everything. Not a land. Well, we can bounce the Drog Skull Captain. That would buy us some time. Because we can use Harbinger of the Tides. Can we use Phantasmal Image in any way to net mana? I don't think so. Well, Venser might be a liability compared to Echoing Truth if this doesn't win. But at least we have an answer, you know, like a theoretical answer. Oh no! Oh no, I'm playing Lord of Atlantis. That's not good. Oh, it's making the Mutavault unblockable and bigger. Oh, it's terrible. That was stupid. Whatever. So how much are they attacking for? 3, 7? It's acceptable, I guess. That was a mistake. I'm supposed to play Master of the Pearl Trident.
What are you afraid of? Come on.
Like, I could buy myself a few more turns if I play Phantasmal Image, copy something. I don't know. A flyer. Okay, they're only attacking with Spell Queller. That's good. Land for victory, because I don't think this 2 mana can do anything. That. Yay! Ba 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 ba. Da na 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 na. Okay, we're gonna attack with everything, and then bounce this thing. You gonna block or not? I bet you're not. Venser, Shaper, Savant.
2, 1.
I'm telling people, I like Venser. Venser is a cool card. It's like very versatile. And you know that that 2-powered creature is a big deal. Try giving that hexproof. Boom!
Minus 17.
And that's the manabase.com Get Dunked On instant replay. We got it! We got there, people! We didn't see the power of Peak this game, but we definitely saw the power of Gut Shot and Venser. Who's the better Merfolk deck now, huh, spirits? Huh? It's Merfolk. So that's definitely going to be our lesson for today. Merfolk. Merfolk is the best Merfolk deck. Merfolk is the best Merfolk deck? Oh no, I'm running out of room again. I got a bigger board and everything.
Oh, we're gonna need a bigger board.
We're gonna need a bigger board. We're gonna make it larger and powerful.
Let's get a screen projector. Project it on the wall.
We're gonna get a screen projector. I'm gonna get a separate television, and we're gonna digitize everything in there. There's gonna be these running bars everywhere. It's gonna let you know the latest stock prices for Lord of Atlantis and all these other cards. But yeah, that's our first match with my new iteration of Merfolk, a new, more powerful version. Oh yeah, I think I didn't mention this in the deck tech, but I've added Mararegery because it combos really well with Phantasmal Image. It's just another powerful way of trying to close out games. So I made only a small punt this game, playing the Lord of Atlantis instead of the Master of the Pearl Trident. Fortunately, we were not punished. So we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing Merfolk in Modern.